Once upon a time, deep in a vast jungle, there lived a mighty lion named Raghav. He had ruled the jungle for many years, feared and respected by all animals. His roar could be heard from miles away, and his strength was unmatched. However, time waits for no one, and as the years passed, Raghav grew old and weak. His once powerful limbs were no longer strong enough to chase down fast prey like deer and antelope. He struggled to hunt and often went days without food. Hunger gnawed at him, making him restless. One evening, as he lay under the shade of a giant tree, he muttered to himself, "If I do not find a way to get food soon, I will starve to death." For hours, he thought about his situation. But every plan seemed impossible. Just as he was about to give up, an idea struck him. A cunning, wicked idea. "I may not be able to run fast anymore, but I can still use my mind," he thought with a sly smile. That night, he slowly made his way toward a deep, dark cave. The cave was large enough to fit him comfortably, and its entrance was hidden by thick bushes. "This will be my hunting trap," he whispered to himself. The next morning, he put his plan into action. He lay down inside the cave, curled up as if he were very sick. He groaned and moaned loudly so that anyone passing by could hear his suffering. His plan was simple: pretend to be ill and wait for other animals to come and check on him. Once they came close enough, he would attack and eat them. The first visitor was a kind-hearted deer. She had always respected the lion and wanted to see if she could help. She cautiously approached the cave and called out, "O mighty lion, are you unwell? Do you need help?" The lion groaned weakly and replied, "Oh dear friend, I am very sick. I have not eaten in days, and I am too weak to move. Please, come closer so I can talk to you properly." The deer, filled with sympathy, took a few steps forward. But before she could react, the lion pounced on her and devoured her. Days passed, and the lion continued his trick. One by one, several animals, including rabbits, monkeys, and even a young wolf, fell into his trap. The jungle animals started noticing that their friends were disappearing, but they couldn't understand why. One bright morning, a clever fox named Chithura was wandering through the forest when he heard whispers among the animals. "Many of our friends have vanished," said a worried squirrel. "I saw them go toward the lion's cave, but none of them ever returned." Chithura, being a sharp thinker, decided to investigate. He walked toward the cave but stopped a few feet away. His eyes carefully examined the ground. He noticed something strange. There were many footprints leading into the cave, but not a single one coming out. "This is suspicious," he thought. "If the lion were truly sick, why has no one returned from visiting him?" Instead of stepping inside, he stood at the entrance and called out, "O mighty lion, I have heard that you are very ill. I have come to visit you." Inside, the lion smirked, pleased that another victim had arrived. He coughed and replied in a weak voice, "Ah, dear fox, I am indeed very sick. Please, come in and sit beside me. It would make me feel better to have company." But the fox was too clever to be fooled. He laughed and said, "Oh, great lion, I would have loved to come inside, but there is something that bothers me." The lion frowned. "And what is that?" The fox replied, "I see footprints leading into your cave, but none coming out. This tells me that whoever enters never leaves. I am not foolish enough to step inside." The lion's heart sank. His trick had been discovered. He remained silent, realizing that the fox had outsmarted him. The animals thanked the fox for saving them and decided to move far away from the lion's territory. From that day on, no animal ever went near the cave again. The old lion, left alone and hungry,